shout out to everybody. It's a little drama in the home theater community. Before we get started, I do want to say Tron Legacy, Tron, the original and the Tron Legacy, they ended up, updating those movies. So a Kaleidoscape, you got a Kaleidoscape that you can get like the original Tron and Atmos. If you order the, Tron Legacy in 4K, you can get that. I think Walmart was allowing people to do pre-orders. Some people, I think, are getting their Tron 4K movie. Shout out to them. I ended up getting mine through Kaleidoscape because it's easier. I could just go ahead and hit download. Now on the Kaleidoscape, I do want to say this, you have to, pay for an upgrade, right? Like if you want the Atmos, the 4K, all of that, you have to pay $21 and something. Like if you already have the disc, it's an upgrade fee. I did a review on that on whether or not it's worth, upgrading. So go ahead and check out that video if you can. And, I got a lot of thoughts on that Tron Legacy. Some people might like it, the review. Some people might, not like my thoughts on it. But, I'm just being real. I'm not paid by any of these people. I'm just giving you my, perspective of it. Also, but shout out to them for redoing the movie. I've been looking forward to that because, Ares is coming out. Tron Ares. I will be seeing that. Yeah, I did like a video, right? I did a couple videos. One of the videos I did is talking about Pearlison speakers, how neutral they are, and my thoughts about that. I did another video on Andrew Robinson. I do want to say shout out to him. I bought some Polk R700s in one of my rooms off of what he recommended, and then I did a whole video on that, on whether or not he was right. So shout out to Andrew Robinson. Good dude. I do want to say I also did Poes Acoustics. I did a video on, I think his name is Matthew Poes from Poes Acoustics. He kind of runs with Audioholics. And shout out to Audioholics. I know y'all kind of don't rock with your boy right now because I kind of called out some things. And I know y'all probably don't like that. It just is what it is. Like, I go to these conventions and I see y'all super hanging out with some of these manufacturing type people. So me doing this, I kind of just want to see whether or not people are giving honest opinions about some of these products or people are just giving some fluff, you know what I mean? And I kind of discuss what I hear when I hear speakers and what different people talk about. It's just what it is. I do want to say Matthew Poes from Poes Acoustics, he did a video, right? And what he was saying in the video is some people, I can't remember the name of the video. He said sometimes consumers or whatever, they like too much bass. Like this guy's an integrator or whatever. He said sometimes people like too much bass and, they want, the bass, the dB boosted or whatever, because it's not enough bass. And he feels like, some of these systems are not as clear as they could be because it's too much bass. He went into a whole lot of things with that. And it kind of made your boy cringe. I'm not going to lie. You know what I mean? No diss to him, but, I kind of love my bass here. We all buy subwoofers, not because we just like the way they look. Some of us do, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But we want to hear and feel the bass, and when we hear another guy talking about people use too much bass, it kind of makes me wonder a little bit. I just want to say that, but shout out to him. So I guess he's seen the video I made, and he kind of went at your boy here. I do want to read this to you. So Matthew Poes, I think his name, from Poes Acoustics, he said, "You've never heard my system. How do you know my version of neutral isn't what you call man bass? I never said flat. That seems to be a misconception here. I don't advocate for flat bass or even 3 dB up. My neutral bass will be 6 dB up. I also listen pretty loud. Equal loudness would definitely require turning it up to compensate." Now, I do want to say this, Poes Acoustics, Matthew Poes, that ain't what your video sounded like. You know what I mean? Like when we watch your video, it sounds like you feel like people are listening to too much bass. That's what it sounded like to me. You know what I mean? I made a comment in there months ago, whatever. You know what I mean? A little while ago, whatever. Made a comment in there, and then I just, I'm doing videos now, gang. You know what I mean? And I just, did a video on what I heard, and it did sound like to me that you kind of don't like a lot of bass. You know what I mean? You kind of don't like bass. And to each his own. Some people don't like a lot. Some people do, but how you describing it now, like I don't advocate for flat bass or even 3 dB up. My neutral bass will be 6 dB up. When I listened to that video, it didn't sound like this is what you were saying, gang. It didn't. You know what I mean? And that's what prompted me to do the video, because I'm watching your video and I'm just like, what? Like, what dude wants a home theater that doesn't have the bass in there? You know, but shout out to you. He also said, I don't calibrate to neutral. I calibrate to client's desire. Please don't make false claims about my business, and calibrations cost more than you seem to think. Maybe spend more time learning professional side of the industry. You know what I'm saying? He kind of went crazy on your boy here. Shout out to Matthew Poes. No diss. I just feel like, you know, a lot of people, we like our systems, how they are, you know, and when we get somebody telling us it's a little bit too much bass here, you know, it kind of, you know, makes us wonder a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. You know what I mean? But shout out to you. Have your opinions. You know, and it just sometimes people are going to have differences of opinions, man. It's just what it is. Somebody commented on here, said, you did underestimate how much he charges. Imagine spending tens to thousands or thousands of dollars on calibration and equipment based on Poe's recommendations, and you end up disappointed because the sound is neutral and lifeless. Meanwhile, Poe's is ranked in the cash not only from you, but the kickbacks he gets from recommending the Audioholics Poe's Acoustics partner products from the likes of Pearliston, Trinoff, and Kaleidoscape. My trolls is on you, Poe's. Shout out to Poe's from Poe's Acoustics. This is no diss to you, bro. It's just we like our bass. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people are starting to get offended, you know, Audioholics from One Gene, about my opinions on the Kaleidoscape, and, you know, like, you know, some other people getting offended on my opinions of the Trinoff. I just want to tell people what y'all are not telling them about these products. That's it. You know what I mean? So I get it. Y'all can feel some type of way, but that's what it is, bro. You know, I go out, listen, and tell people what I hear. As far as Poe's Acoustics, if you're saying that you like, you know, 3 dB or 6 dB boost and bass, fine. But I think he says something like clients think they like more along the lines of 12 dB bass. I think if they're liking 12 dB bass, something is wrong with this calibration. I'm sorry, Thug Life. It is what it is. Can you imagine paying thousands of dollars for an integrator to come into your house, gang, and then they set up your system, and then they leave, and you turn on your system, and you trying to watch Interstellar, and ain't no bass? Wait a minute, we gonna have a problem. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be calling you. I just paid you. Help me. You know? So I don't know. Some people don't like bass. I get it. You know, but your boy gotta have some bass in my movies. You know what I mean? But that is what it is. Shout out to everybody. Also, let me know in the comment section, what are some new Atmos movies that you guys are watching? You know what I'm saying? I just downloaded the new Mission Impossible. I'm gonna do a review on that. You know what I mean? Help your boy out. Hit the like button when y'all come in here. We need some life into this home theater community, because I've been, for far too long, I'm kind of watching all these boring people out here talk about theater, misleading people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about you, Poe's Acoustics. I'm just saying people in general, misleading people to get products that they don't need, and they're like, or want, you know what I'm saying, or don't even really deliver what they claim to deliver. And it's a lot of, I think, FOMO, I'll say that, like in the home theater community, a lot of excessive pricing. Some things are excessively priced that's worth it. You know what I'm saying? And some things are not, you know, and that's when people like me come into play to tell you on whether or not something is worth it or not. You know, it's just, I feel like we need a little bit more life into this. You know, I can't keep sitting back listening to people that have hearing issues Tell me what sounds good. Y'all would not believe. I might do a whole nother video on that. How many of these hi-fi people, like even when I went to Exponent, how many hi-fi people with these big channels talking about they have hearing problems now? You know what I'm saying? And then they want to tell you how delicate something sounds. But shout out to everybody. I'm out. Go watch the video I put out on Tron Legacy, you know what I'm saying, and see whether or not y'all gonna update and upgrade y'all Tron movie. But shout out to everybody. I'm out. Come rate, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about that. In the comment section, let me know what you want the next video to be about. I'm out, y'all. Peace.